Even after the famous Beatle hairstyle was long gone, Lennon never ran out of music or words, even if newsmen occasionally did.
Mr. Lennon, why did you decide to cut your hair?
Because I felt like it, you know.
So there was no special reason?
No, I mean, why do you cut yours?
I see. As a, I suppose, a leader of a sort of a peace movement, do you have any special plans in the future?
I'm not a leader, and I try not to make plans, you know. And we have no new plans.
We just like to come across with a message of peace and love, you know.
I see.
Peace, peace.
Lennon led the Beatles to Australia in 1964.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Roll over Beethoven, rocking in 2 by 2. Well, George Harrison, we're Sergeant Pepper's lonely hearts Club Band. Yesterday, Eleanor Rigby. All you need is love.
Lennon's love affair with Yoko Ono came at the beginning of the end of the Beatles as the world loved them. Their mark on the music world was honoured by 4 MBE medals. Lennon was later to return his in protest against British foreign policy. Musician, writer, artist, Lennon loved life, and he gave the world help as well.
When I was younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. And now these days are gone, so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind, I've opened up the door.
Colin Segalov, Eyewitness News.
Man suspected of shooting former Beatle John Lennon. Lennon, who was 40, was gunned down as he and Yoko were about to enter their apartment. New Yorkers were stunned by radio news flashes giving first word of John Lennon's murder, and our state political reporter David Jones, who until 6 months ago lived across the street from the former Beatle, was just as stunned.
Police say that former Beatle John Lennon was shot to death in front of the Dakota, the exclusive apartment where he and his wife, Yoko Ono, reside. The shooting took place shortly after 11 o'clock tonight. As Lennon and his wife were about to enter their apartment on the Upper West Side, Eyewitnesses reports indicate that a man who had been hanging around the apartment took out a gun and opened fire on Lennon for no apparent reason. Lennon was rushed by police car to Roosevelt Hospital.
Nothing to kill or die for.
John Lennon was a disciple of peace. He shared New York's Dakota apartment building with some of the world's biggest stars, Lauren Bacall and Roberta Flack among them. But the man of peace died by the gun, at least 6 shots pumped into his body.
Living life in peace.
If John Lennon worried about his personal safety, he showed no signs of it. Despite all those stories that he and Yoko were recluses, it was not unusual to see them strolling along West 72nd Street. The first time I saw them, Lennon was pushing a baby carriage. John Lennon rejected the trappings of success. No limousines, no star-studded parties. He owned at least 3 apartments in the Dakota building, Manhattan's most exclusive address. People like Cher were rejected as tenants for the $500,000 apartments because the millionaire residents thought she'd attract too much publicity. John Lennon's death was a tragic irony. He was only just getting his career on the road again with a smash single. Years ago, he shocked the world by declaring the Beatles were more popular than Jesus Christ. In death, he'll probably be more widely known and perhaps more revered as a martyr by his dedicated fans. John Lennon is going to be missed.
And I'm a patriotic nationalist.
World tours followed, and in each country they visited, huge crowds of young fans turned out to greet them. Their popularity, inevitably, sometimes brought a hostile reaction. During their visit to Sydney, Lennon and the Beatles remained virtual prisoners in their hotel rooms, besieged by thousands of screaming and often hysterical fans. In later years, there were changes in style, but their success was undiminished. John Lennon continued to be the most controversial figure of the group, becoming even more eccentric after his marriage to Yoko Ono, a Japanese artist. They spent their entire honeymoon in bed in an Amsterdam hotel, entertaining the press and television while still between the covers. Ironically, Lennon, with his reputation as the rebel, blamed Paul McCartney for the Beatles' eventual breakup, accusing him of trying to dominate the group. The rift was eventually healed, but plans to get the group back together again failed. Their music, however, lives on, and with it, the John Lennon philosophy that helped make him and the Beatles legends in their own time.